I'm talking to Nurjawaan Rawoot, one of the participants of the Never Seen project funded by British Council Sub-Saharan Africa Arts. Nurjawaan, when you were first approached to be part of the project, what did you think?
Honestly, photography and blind people. I was a bit skeptical, mixed emotions, excited and nervous. It was all in there. But I told myself it definitely is a possibility. So let me see what it's all about. So I definitely had my doubts, but I was very excited to find out what it's all about.
And how did those feelings shift by the end of the project? What did you learn?
Definitely a positive shift. I'm like I said, I'm going to be very honest. I had my doubts, even starting with the project and being part of the project. I still had my doubts when it comes to how am I going to capture the image. But once we had the first workshop and we were taught about framing and visualizing, that's when I was a bit more open minded and I could see how it relates to blind people, because as a blind person, you need to do visualization every single day. So that's what shifted my perspective a bit in a positive way about the project.
I want to go back to that point about visualization a little bit further on, but I want to just really chat about one of the other factors. The project was as much about engaging with nature as it was about photography. Tell me about the shifts in how you experience nature. What was that like for you?
I'm not really a nature person. However, I like exploring new things and new environments. I'm all about that. So, another positive shift, I saw nature in a different light, if I can say that. Um, for example, I would always hear the sounds of nature, like birds and the rustling of the leaves of the trees and stuff like that. But I never really focused on it as much as with the photography project, like when we went to Kirstenbosch, because obviously I had to stop, stand, listen, use my other senses, my sense of hearing, smell, touch, to capture and to visualize. So really I became more open-minded, and like I told myself that I can actually really enjoy nature more if I just focus. Yeah.
And do you find that you are still using or are more conscious of the way that you use your other senses out and about in the world today?
Definitely. I haven't been using my camera that much, but being more conscious of my other senses, I've definitely started being more conscious, listening, smelling my environment and stuff like that. So definitely.
Earlier on, you mentioned about the importance of visualization. What did you learn about visualization and how do you use it now as you go about your daily life?
Like I mentioned, when you're blind, you have to visualize every minute of the day, because if you don't visualize, you can literally get lost in a familiar space. But being part of this project, um, if I can say, in the past, I was more absent minded when I navigate my way, especially in a familiar space. I wouldn't be like on high alert. But after the photography project, for example, right outside my door, we have a small tree. I knew the tree was there because I was told the tree was there, but I never went there or thought of visualizing the tree. All I knew was when I walk out my door, I need to move to the left so that I don't bump into the tree. But with the photography project, my first task was to capture my surroundings, and then I chose the tree outside my door because that was the closest nature spot for me. And now it's like whenever I leave my house, it's like I can literally see that tree because I'm visualizing that tree. And same goes for the pathway that I have to walk to get to the parking area. I never gave it that much thought. But when I had my phone in my hand, the first time when I was taught about framing and I was trying to practice my framing and capturing the images in the frame, then obviously the pathway was part of the frame. So I saw it differently. And not only, and I mean, I'm living here now for about 2 years, and I never gave it so much thought before or prior to the photography project.
So it's really just made you more conscious of being aware of your surroundings, your environment, and the world that you exist in your home space, and probably outside of that.
Definitely. Um, I've met a lot of blind people since I've lost my eyesight. And what I've picked up, okay, blind people that has been blind for years, they like to explore and feel the surroundings. I was never that person. If I get to a place, they tell me that's where you must be, that's where you must sit. I would just sit there. I wouldn't go and explore what's next to me, my left, my right, behind me. I would just go to where I must be, and that's me. Plain and simple, straight to the point. But I must say, now I want to know what's next to me, what's behind me, my surroundings. Can you take me there? Let me feel. Because I realized that it can also help me along the line because, for example, if someone, I work at front desk reception, so if someone comes, I can direct them, okay, if you walk to your left and you take a slight turn, then you'll find the restrooms. Where in the past, I wasn't that type of person that could give anyone directions. Even when I'm driving in a car, I would be absent minded and just drive. But now, when I'm in a car, I would ask questions. I would ask the driver, and based on what I'm smelling, and I was like, okay, where are we passing now? Because it's the same route that I travel every day, but I never really um took note of where I'm going because I didn't ask questions because I didn't my senses were working. I just think I wasn't using it 100%. Yeah.
To what degree do you think that never seen and your experiences being part of that project have impacted on your levels of self-confidence?
Wow, it had a huge impact. I consider myself to be a very positive and confident person. However, this has given me more of a confidence boost because, like I just mentioned, I'm more aware, I'm more alert, and um, also like previously mentioned, I had my doubts, and for me, it was like you're never going to know if you don't pursue something. So really, the fear of the unknown, I took it on because I went into uncharted waters that I didn't know what was going to happen. But I'm glad that I took that, that opportunity to see what's on the other side, because I believe you won't know what's on the other side of the bridge if you don't cross that bridge. And even if you get to the other side of the bridge, and you still like, this is not what I expected, at least you're going to know and you won't always wonder. But in this case, I would definitely tell any other person that's visually impaired or blind that wants to embark on photography to go because it's really something nice. This might be the experience that I had, but I'm sure other blind people would have a different experience. But for me, it was really a confidence boost.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Nurjawaan.